What's going on, everyone? White Day's just around the corner. It's likely to be the mid-month gacha. And so I thought, what better way to prepare than to take a look at some of the older White Day characters that are likely to be the fillers for this next upcoming banner. Now, there are 8 of them. If you remember for the Valentine's Day one, we were lucky enough to there were only 4 fillers. This time there's 8 fillers, which, it's not gonna... Chances are a little bit harder for this one. But yeah, let's go ahead and review them all. We're going to start off with Toshiro. As you can see, his stats, not very good. With the exception of his defense. His defense is actually pretty good. But the other 2, not so much. He does have a strong attack 3, I believe, that's really neat looking. It's like ice flowers everywhere. It looks pretty cool. But other than that, he doesn't have very redeeming qualities. His killer sucks. His soul trait sucks. He does have debilitator, which is nice. But other than that, he really doesn't have anything else going for him. Next we have Eysan. Eysan does have a decent SP for an older character. Like I said, this character came out in the first 3 months of the game in global, so it's not going to be the best character. The SP is decent for a hybrid. Of course, he isn't a hybrid, but still. Yeah, make of that what you will. I think he does have paralysis on everything, with the exception of maybe his normal attack. He does have debilitator, which is nice. His strong attacks are actually usable because they have a decent range. It's not the best range, but for an older character, it's okay. Bombardment, his special is good. I think it does inflict paralysis as well. He does have a usable soul trait of 12% SAR. His killer, not so much. But I think this character can still be used for fun, and you can get away with it. I might do a free one on him eventually. I'm not sure. Next we have Shui. Shui is actually the only one I don't have. I believe I have 4 on my global and the other 3 on my JP. Shui is the only one that's escaped me. His attack is his best stat. Of course, it's not that high. I can't really tell you much of his strong attacks. I think they're just regular looking strong attacks because he was the first 5-star Shui. He does have Bruiser and Berserker, but it's 20. It's not that much at all. In fact, I think Toshiro is even better. Weak in defense that only applies for a special. He's the only one so far with a decent killer at a Rankar, and his soul trait's actually usable, so he's better off as a link. I wouldn't really use this guy at all, but I still don't have him, so if I get him, that's another 6-star for me. Next we have Grimmjow, whose attack is actually decent. 655 is okay. In fact, there are still some characters who have a 655 attack. Granted, their SPs are much higher, but what are you gonna do? He has a strong attack damage link, which is actually useful. His killer sucks as captain. I guess you could use him in PvP, but I wouldn't recommend it. Devastation at 40, Berserker at 30, Bruiser at 20. Those are pretty standard. Still though, I'd use him. I put him in the same level as Eysan. I would use him for fun, but I wouldn't use him for anything too tough or too serious or any PvP at all. Next we have Kenny, the only Kenny without poise. And his attack is lower than, what's his name, Grimmjow's. His defense is pretty good, of course, doesn't take into consideration too much these days. But he doesn't, I believe he doesn't have any status elements, with the exception of maybe his special. But I can't remember, it's been a while since I've used him. He does have bombardment, so his special does deal a pretty good amount of damage. His killer is Soul Reaper, which I find strange. In fact, the killers for all of them have been really weird with the exception of Shui. But yeah, wouldn't put it at Soul Reaper, but they did, so what are you going to do? His Soul Trait is usable, so he's just another character that I guess you can use, but I wouldn't use him for anything harder than a 4-star raid. Next we have Gin, who is the last one of the OG White Day characters. When the game first came out, there were only 6. And this is the last one of the 6 that I'm reviewing so far. His SP is bad, but the best one. He's like a hybrid character, but he does have Frenzy, which is what makes him better than the other guys. He has Frenzy. He does have a Captain Killer that sucks. His Soul Trait's okay. Sadly, his special doesn't actually do damage. It does heal though, so he is kind of a healer. But really, it's the Frenzy you want to be looking at. Although I don't think his strong attacks actually have very good range. I think the range actually sucks. Still though, better than the other ones, with the exception of maybe Eysan that could be used a little better, but Frenzy beats all. Okay, now we're moving on to Bakugou, which is the one of the 2 new ones that we got last year. a White Day Byakuya that actually looks pretty cool. His SP is higher than anybody else we saw so far. His attack is also above 600, which, you know, I guess is okay. Defense is okay. If you remembered, I did a rewind on this character, and it turned out to be pretty decent. You know, there were some builds that I wouldn't use for him. I don't think his Nat has very good reach, even though he does have long reach. Or that said, it might have good reach, but it's hard to tell. He does have Bruiser at 30 and Berserker at 40, which is okay. But again, no Frenzy. His killer actually makes sense, being an Rancor killer. He does have Debilitator, and he has Paralysis on all of his strong attacks and his special, I believe. I can't remember if he has it on his NAD. It's been a while, like I said. Soul Trait, usable. Overall, I would use this guy for 4-star raids, maybe even some 5-star raids, but I would stack everything in my favor because he needs the help. Now, lastly, we have Oki Aura, which is undoubtedly the best White Day character out so far. His attack is 657, which is okay. His SP is 630, also okay. He also has damage reduction and frenzy and a heal move. This character is really good. Unlike every other character in this list so far, this character is actually still usable. And, well, still usable in tough raids, I guess I should say. And his DR link would actually be really helpful for characters who have Yama, because he is a tech character with DR. So that will actually be, you know, appealing to those who have Yama. He does have a Soul Reaper killer, which is very, very useful. Still usable. Like I said, he has Frenzy. His SP isn't terrible. In fact, I think it's the same thing as Eysan's. Yeah, same thing as Eysan's. So you can deal damage that way. He was also the first healer, I believe, or one of the first healers that had that heal move actually did damage. So you got that going for you. And Frenzy, so it's damage twice. He is only self-heal though, so it would only heal him. Great for autoing. Bruiser is at 20%. His attack is his highest quality, so you know it is going to be good for autoing if you want to use him. That said, that is all the characters for White Day. You really want to go, if you don't have any of them, which is likely for a lot of you, you just want to go for it, because anything you get will be orbs. If you have most of them or some of them, you don't have Oki Aura. I think Oki Aura is a good get for this one. His strong attacks are good, stats are good. He's just a good character to have. As for the rest of them, they're better off as links, with the exception of Toshiro, who just kind of sucks all around. Sorry, Toshiro, you're a good captain, but everything about you in this sucks. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the White Day characters. Let me know what you think we'll be getting in the upcoming Cacao Society White Day characters. I'm very excited to see that. Personally, I think and hope it's Stark, Shunsui, and Kisuke, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what characters you guys have for White Day. And yeah, take care.